That could happen. We felt like, if they got this game to the fourth quarter, would they be able to hang once they got there? And I think we found that out. Yeah, just too many mistakes, though. It could have been a totally different ball game all the way through if, a couple of those turnovers early on. You don't have those. Like I said, the big 14-point swing there in the second quarter. If you could have avoided that with the interception down in the end zone.
Yeah, you take away a couple of those bad decisions. And
wind really picking up out there. We're still not seeing anything nasty on the radar. I don't want to go back home, though. It's still storming there in Emory.
Yeah, we'll stay here a little longer anyway. So make sure you, speaking of staying, stay tuned for the post-game show. We'll have all kinds of scores from our local and regional scoreboard as the Vikings are going to line up here in a diamond formation. See what they do. They're going to put Snyder under center, and they're just going to take a knee. So a classy gesture there by Coach Mays, just taking the knee, and they're going to take the turnover on downs with 1:21 to go. And I think that was a really classy move there by the team.
It was.
Had the game won, and, against a rival, they could have tried to punch it in, but they showed the respect there to take the knee, and really a classy move there by Coach Mays. And it'll be Bearcat football at the 6-yard line. So this Viking team, they're going to have to wait a while for their first bye week. They got to wait till the last week of the regular season. They're going to play 10 straight and then take that bye before postseason play kicks off. Whereas the Bearcats, we've got one more. Then we get a bye week before we have to travel to Chilhowie. So,
sorry, we're home, of course, next Friday night, Wise Central. Just a reminder.
Yeah, we'll
Kickoff there, 7 o'clock.
We'll talk about that one during the Sesco Insurance Group post-game show. I hope you stay tuned for that one. Travis been looking up all sorts of scores. He'll get us updated and see if we got any upsets in the making. As Lathrop still in the pocket, he's going to drop back and try to roll out, and he gets out to around the 2-yard line, and he's sacked. Not sure you want to see Jamie taking a hit. I don't know there if you just want to run the football with a minute to go down inside your own goal line, but tried to pass it, dropped back, and maybe held on to it a bit too long and nearly got taken in the end zone for a safety. But instead he got it out to the 2 with 50 seconds left. We're under a minute left in the 102nd edition of the VT game, and, there's going to be a lot of takeaways. I'm excited to hear yours once we get to the post game. Get a time to sort of let this marinate a little bit. As Lathrop will line up, and we have a new face in the backfield as Bryson Williams, number 44, will get a carry. And he breaks loose out near the 5-yard line. It's the first time we've seen Bryson with the ball. Pretty nice carry there for him, the senior. Gets it out to the 5-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd down, and that looks like it will be the final snap of the 102nd VT game, but we'll see.
Looks like they might try to snap it one more time, get one more play.
Of course, without a play clock, you're not sure either, are you, that you need to. So they're going to run it one more time with Williams, and he breaks free up past the 15, takes a big hit at the end of that. And that will do it as the Vikings are going to win the 102nd edition. As the clock hits 0, the upset bid of the Bearcats falls short tonight, 42-21. The Vikings come away victorious, and now they make that win streak now 7 games in a row. The Cats will have to wait another year to try to get revenge. We'll get them back at the Gene next September. See, but for the senior group, you got to feel for Jamie and the guys because they had circled this game. This is the big game, but of course we got plenty of big ones left. But as a senior, I think that was one of the main goals, to go out with a win against your hated rival. And it's funny watching these two teams shake hands because we're not even halfway through the handshake line, and we're they're already done shaking our hands at the front, but we've still got to go all the way through the reserves for the Vikings. I'm telling you, there's at least 2 times as many Vikings.
Oh, at least.
For a 7-point deficit at the end of the third quarter. I don't think the Cats have anything to hang their heads about, but we'll talk about that coming up next here on the Sesco Group Insurance post-game report as the Vikings win, and they'll move to 3-1 as they've played now 4 weeks into their Tennessee High schedule. The Cats dropped their first game of the 2018 season. They're now 2-1 on the year, as Mr. Harper giving a hand there to the guys as they gave it all they had here tonight at the Stone Castle. Let's take a quick break. We'll have the post-game show coming up next here on the Bearcat Radio Network.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School Athletics.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. Go to readyvirginia.gov and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by Ready Virginia, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
When it comes to saving money, don't act like a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
Be the boss and make a budget.
I'm the boss, baby.
You're the boss of me.
I am the boss of you.
Are not.
M2.
Are not.
M2.
Need a little help?
Aren't you going to do any work?
I'm very busy delegating.
Create a personalized savings plan.
We could share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
And get other tools and tips at feedthepig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Sesco Group Insurance post-game show. Dylan Hunt along with Travis DeBus, Kevin Corbett over there dialing up the stats as the Bearcats fall in this one 42-21. A valiant effort by Virginia High, but fall just short after a fourth quarter where they're outscored 14-0. And Virginia High falls to 2-1. Tennessee High moves to 3-1. You know, they're in line to put together quite a year there in the Mountain Lakes district on the Tennessee side. We do wish them the best of luck as they finish off the rest of the year. You know, you're only really rivals one night. As we update them, you know, throughout the year, we're usually pulling for them. I
mean, you know,
I don't know about you, but sometimes I am.
We share a city here, so we wish those guys luck. This is really the only, night that we're going to see each other all year long, so it's always good. Like to see both schools from Bristol. Well, actually, we like to see all three schools, battle included, to be successful. So, yeah, we'll wish Tennessee High luck the rest of the way.
Some highlights playing on the video board. I'll tell you, that is a nice setup here at Tennessee High. But, Travis, as we, of course, enter the post-game portion of the show, what are some initial thoughts? Give me some positives and some negatives to take away from this 102nd VT game.
Well, let's start out with the negatives. Well, let's go ahead and get the bad news out of the way first. You can't turn the ball over that many times against the team, a heavily favored opponent. A team in reality, in reality, is just better than you are. They've got more players, they've got more kids. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. There's more students over here on this side.
And Coach Chris acknowledges that.
Yeah, the talent pool's slightly bigger. So, automatically can't make those mistakes. And we had a few critical mistakes. We had especially the turnovers were the big ones, the interceptions. But then on the positive side, man, offensively, until we turned it over, we marched up and down the field without any problem. I mean, that is the most effective our offense has been probably through the first 3 games of the season.
And in this environment to do what they did, all the hype around the video board, the DJ down in the
Oh,
south
yeah,
end
man.
zone.
They did a great job of not letting this get to them. And, the game didn't get too big for them. They handled it like they should have. And, of course, both teams still on the field here. We got a lot of guys in maroon congratulating the guys in white, vice versa. Good game. Game's over now. Rivalry's done.
Yeah, now
get
you're
ready
back
for
to
next
being
year.
neighbors. As you said, they living on the same street, most of them, as the 2 cities sort of connect between that state line. So you can go from being rivals to neighbors pretty quick here in the VT rivalry game that has been going since 1911, since they wore the leather helmets and a forward pass wasn't even a thought.
That's right.
Then, so.
And I think a few other things you can take away from the game tonight. Stevie Thomas, really the first. Of course, we know he had a little bit of an injury first couple weeks of the season, so tonight's the first time we've seen him get a lot of playing action. Man, I'm impressed. We thought this freshman might be pretty good. Sure enough, he was.
Against the big boys.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the future, I think the rest of the schedule, I think things look good if we can stay, somewhat healthy. going forward, the schedule I think lines up pretty good for us to pick up some wins and be very, very competitive in Southwest District.
And we've seen, competitive games throughout. Of course, this one got out of hand in the last 5 minutes or so, but Bearcats fighting to the bitter end against their rivals from the Tennessee side of the state line. I don't think Coach Chris has much to hang his head about a couple of those turnovers, like you said, and the game goes a little bit differently. However, they made mistakes too that we took advantage of.
And getting away from the game a little bit, I texted you, we talked to each other several times during the week, man. I was so excited myself just to get here to see this historic venue. Haven't been here in forever. They get a chance to call a game here, man. It's just really neat. Just a real neat setup here in Bristol, Tennessee. I've been in Viking Hall several times doing some games in there. My first time, however, in the Stone Castle. Man, this place is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Video board and everything. DJ before the game.
It's not the Gene, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice place here for our rivals to call home, but pretty nice place to come every other year to face them, too. But let's take a look at the game summary as the Cats again took an early lead in the first quarter, 7:43 on the clock. We went on a 70-yard drive, and it capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run from Jamie Lathrop. Kind of silenced this group, went up 7-0 early. Then Tennessee High would answer on a 31-yard touchdown run by Isaiah Smith, made it 7-7 in the first quarter. Then Lathrop threw a pivotal interception on a turnover in the end zone, corner route. He tried to hit Michael Bradley and just underthrew him with 7:40 on the clock in that first quarter. At the 55-second mark, Cole McBriar, the quarterback, ran it into the end zone from 22 yards out, 14-7. Tennessee High led going into the second quarter. So in the second quarter, the Cats got the ball right back, went on another drive into the red zone, and the drive ended on a missed field goal. It was partially blocked, an attempt by Colton Ratcliffe that fell short from 29 yards out. Then Kimmerer for Tennessee High, 21-yard touchdown run. That made it 21-7. It looked like things were really going to swing. The Bearcats got the ball back on the kickoff, got a first down after a penalty, then went 3 and out. And then Austin Davidson on the next possession got an interception and kept it alive, really. Took it all the way down inside the 25-yard line. 3 plays later, Aaron Rose took it into the end zone with 51 seconds to go. Bearcats had momentum going into half, trailing just 21-14. And really the same story, basically what happened in the first half, take that and put it in the third quarter because it was about the same thing. But it didn't start off as hot for the Cats in the third. We got the 3 and out on Tennessee High to open the quarter. Defense stood up, made a play, and then on the ensuing possession, Jamie Lathrop threw an interception to Ryan Gibson, and it was his second interception of the ball game. At the 8:39 mark, Isaiah Smith took it in for a 11-yard touchdown run to take a 28-14 lead back for the Vikings. That was at the 8:39 mark. And then Austin Davidson, after the Cats had to punt it away, picked off McBriar. It was Davidson's second interception of the game. And then after the interception, the Bearcats went on a 5-minute drive, about 50 yards, and a connection on fourth down as they converted 2 fourth downs on the drive. Jamie Lathrop rolled out to his left. Nobody was there. Came back to the right side and found Michael Bradley in the back corner of the end zone, and that cut it back to 28-21. We went into the fourth quarter for the second straight year down 7 to this 5A school out of Tennessee, and then it was all Vikings from there as they scored 14 points in that fourth quarter. A pick 6 with 9:35 to go in the fourth made it 35-21. Then Lathrop he got to running there on that next possession, got scrambled loose, got a couple of first downs and a turnover on downs, ended that drive at 6:07. 47-yard touchdown run by Cole McBriar made it 42-21, and from there it was just field position and nothing really left to talk about after about the 6-minute mark in that ball game. Of course, Tennessee High with the classy gesture taking the knee on fourth down. That should be remembered, I think.
Was a very classy move. They call a timeout to think about it. And, yeah, great move by the coaching staff there at Tennessee High. We applaud them on that.
Yeah, with the class there. They ended up winning 42-21 tonight over the Bearcats, and they will move on next week, and they'll finally have to play on the road. They got to play 3 straight here at the Castle, of course, with all the amenities that you get to enjoy. Why would you want to play anywhere else? They'll go to Morristown East, and then they'll go to Elizabethton the week after. So they'll start playing some Mountain Lakes games.
A couple of toughies coming up for them.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So there was the game summary with the recap, and that was quite a recap of a game that the 102nd edition, don't just take it at 42-21 because it was everything but.
It was, yep, yeah. that final score, if you look just at that, it might be a bit misleading. Yes, it was a very close game all the way again. And then, like I said, the depth probably took its toll late in the contest.